Good morning, Little Masters, and welcome back to today's Tolkien Times. I'm Alan, the Man of the West, also from the Prancing Pony podcast, and the TTT is my way of bringing you a little Middle-earth every single day. Now, if you want longer and deeper content, please check out the Prancing Pony podcast. There's almost 500 hours of free content exploring the Legendarium with years still to go. But let's get started today with Word Nerd Wednesday. Now, I want to introduce today's word with a few paragraphs from The Lord of the Rings. This is from Book 2, Chapter 4, A Journey in the Dark. The howling wolves are getting closer, and the company has been standing at the doors to Moria for quite some time. With a suddenness that startled them all, the wizard sprang to his feet. He was laughing.
"I have it," he cried. Of course. Absurdly simple. Like most riddles, when you see the answer."
Picking up his staff, he stood before the rock and said in a clear voice, "Melon." The star shone out briefly and faded again. Then silently a great doorway was outlined, though not a crack or joint had been visible before. Slowly it divided in the middle and swung outwards inch by inch until both doors lay back against the wall. Through the opening, a shadowy stair could be seen climbing steadily up, but beyond the lower steps the darkness was deeper than the night. The company stared in wonder.
"I was wrong after all," said Gandalf. "And Gimli, too. Merry, of all people, was on the right track. The opening word was inscribed on the archway all the time. The translation should have been, 'Say friend and enter.' I had only to speak the Elvish word for friend, and the doors opened. Quite simple. Too simple for a learned lawmaster in these suspicious days. Those were happier times. Now let us go."
The Elvish word for friend. Well, Gandalf, let's be clear, that's the Sindarin word for friend. Quenya is another story, but that's what Word Nerd Wednesdays are for. Now, of course, melon, or the plural melin, does indeed mean friend. If we look at the etymologies, which are found in The Lost Road and other writings, that's Volume 5 of the History of Middle-earth, we learn that it comes from the Elvish root mel, meaning love as friend. Looking through the etymologies and a source that I'll explain some other time, it's Parma Eldalamberon number 17 for those who know, we find a few related words. Quenya melda, meaning beloved or dear, melme, love, and the Quenya words for lover, melisse and melindo, for female and male, respectively. Now, I cannot be responsible if you attempt to use these words in a current or future relationship. Then again, they already know how big of a word nerd you are, so go for it, I guess. Just don't tell me about it. Now, with Meldor and Melin, meaning both lover and friend, I have to say it's going to make songwriters have a hard time, but I digress. Now, there is another Quenya word that's related. It's Meldonia, my friend. The feminine version is Meldenia. Now, this shows up a couple of times in notes that Tolkien made for friends, including one to his old friend Elaine Griffiths, in an inscription he made in her copy of The Lord of the Rings. Elainen tarin periondion ar Meldenia anjaran, or to Elaine, Queen of Hobbits and my very old friend. Can you imagine having a personal copy of The Lord of the Rings, not just signed by Professor Tolkien, but inscribed to you personally in Quenya? Well, there was good reason. Griffiths had studied under Tolkien in the early 30s, assisting him with some of his work on the Middle English Ancrina Wisse. Now, she became a close friend and was one of the first people allowed to read the typescript of The Hobbit. In fact, it was her connection with Susan Dagnall at Allen and Unwin that led to them hearing about the manuscript of The Hobbit. Griffiths apparently knew Dagnall and suggested she reach out to Tolkien and read it. That led directly to the publication of The Hobbit by Allen and Unwin, so I'd say she's absolutely earned the title Queen of Hobbits. Now, one other thing. The Mel root is the source of another familiar name to you. According to the appendix to the Silmarillion, the name of Melian, the Maya, is derived from Quenya Meliana, or dear gift, from the same root Mel, dear, and Anna, gift, as in Anatar, the Lord of Gifts. Always listen to Melian. And always read the instructions. They're right there on the door. That's it for today's Word Nerd Wednesday, but come back as we explore the wide, wild, wonderful world of words weekly on Wednesdays. And if there is a word that you want to know more about, please let me know by emailing bartleman@theprancingponypodcast.com. For now, though, plan on joining me again tomorrow on today's Tolkien Times for Third Age Thursday. Now, please like and subscribe on YouTube and follow or subscribe on your podcast apps to make sure each episode gets downloaded to your device. Follow at Tolkien Times on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And in the words of Faramir, go with the goodwill of all good men.